Are you ready, boys?
Assignments of our kids in school are getting more complex every year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sige. Okay, who wants to start? How will we do this? Will we be doing this in English while the other one will be doing it in Tagalog? How will it be?
One set of questions are in English and the others in Filipino.
So when you're asking me in Filipino, I'll have to answer in Filipino. I-edit nyo na lang ang video.
O gani.
Okay.
I-edit lang.
Sige. Good morning. So I would like to welcome first of all of you to our center. Our office is called Social Action Center. Okay? And we are here for, I think, very obvious reasons every time someone would ask me, what does your office do? I will tell them that we are solving people's problem, all sorts. No. So, amo na diri ang opisina nga tanan ng klase sa problema ginaatubang naton. Alin sa duta, human rights violations, labor, peace and justice, ano pa na, calamities, environment. So, okay. So, who would like to ask the first question?
Who or what inspired you to become a priest?
Who, I guess I can actually give you so many people, like my parents, of course, the priests who were assigned in my parish. I am from Baguio City. They were very inspiring. And of course, when I was already in the seminary, I guess it was our formators. Formators meaning our teachers in the seminary. I would like to give you an example, like Monsignor Vic Rivas, although he has already passed away, but he continues to inspire me in my ministry, especially serving the poor. Monsignor Ben Villanueva, Father Edgar Salitsin, all of these professors, all of these priests really inspired me to do service in the name of the Lord. That should always be the reason behind all of this, that what we are doing. We are doing this for the glory of the Lord. So those people really inspire me. A lot more, actually, a lot more. Those are only the few.
When and how did you receive your call to become a priest?
What?
When and how did you receive?
When and how? Well, that's not a very easy question to answer, because I cannot give a very definite time or date when did that really happen. Like for some, they would say that it occurred in a dream. I saw a sign, or lightning struck me. I can't recall anything like that. But I guess it was a very gradual process. I was serving in the church when I was small, like your age. I was an altar server. I was a lector. So I was very frequent in the church. And my father was also very busy in the church. He was the one assigned in decoration, in maintenance. He was the president of people giving communion. He was the grand knight of Knights of Columbus. So he would actually take us with him when he would go to the church, as well as my mom. And so it was a very gradual process. So I cannot really pinpoint when was the time when the Lord really told me, you should be a priest. But in fact, I can remember that when I was in kinder, when we were graduating, my speech, graduation speech was, I think if I all remember, that we are given assignments to give a short speech of what do we want when we grow up. So I actually said, I can remember it very well, I said, I want to be a priest. So when did that start? When was I called? I cannot give you an exact date. It was a gradual process. I came to love the priesthood, especially when I was already in the seminary. When I was already very close to the priests and already working in the seminary, doing our ministry, doing our apostolate, it was there that I fell in love with the work. So I think that's it. So when was that? It was a gradual process.
What is the most challenging part of being a priest?
Oh, so many. I guess first you have to understand that we are also very human. Okay? And so we also share all the weaknesses. We also share all our, our hopes, our aspirations, and frustrations as well. And we also have our desires. So, like for example, I also long to have a wife, especially before. I am also very close with women, and that is also a struggle. I also have my desires, like I want to acquire these things, I want to be rich, but you have to put that in control. So, of course, human needs, that is, I think, the very first struggle. But I guess, the most challenging part of it is frustrations, because you want to see things done. You have your aspirations. You want to see that these things are somehow these things gets through. Like for example, you want to teach people to be responsible about their garbage. That's very basic evangelization, catechesis, because we want to protect creation. But we can see that there are so many irresponsible people, and it seems that there are people who would not really listen, don't mind. So you are teaching them, you're telling them to do this, but they won't do it. That's all a part of our frustration. And so many things. You want to reach out to the youth, but our young people, they are more interested in something else. That's also a part of our frustration. So I guess these are the challenges that every day we face. And of course, you just have to conquer it all by your prayer and hoping that somehow realizing that this is not your work, this is God's work. You are doing this work for Him, and hopefully He will help so that all of your plans and aspirations will come to fruition. You'll be able to achieve it in God's time.
What role do you play in your community?
What role? Like for example, I have already taken on various roles. Like I have been an assistant priest here in the cathedral. This is where I started my ministry. I have also been a parish priest, so that is another role. You are now the leader of the community in terms of life in the church. And now that I am here as the social action director, well, I guess you'll just have to know what the office stands for Uh, we are working for justice and peace. We are working to alleviate the situation of the poor. We would want to answer to the needs of our laborers, of our farmers, of our fisher folks, of our poor community, especially here in our rural areas. You know, there are so many urban poors. I guess that's the role. No, I guess I would like to say that a priest is always a bridge. It's always a bridge. You should be the one to connect both worlds. Uh, like in our relationship between man and God, you will be able to find a priest somewhere in the middle. You will be the one bringing God's blessings, God's message to the people. And you will also be the one to bring the prayers, aspirations, even sins of people to God. So you are always in the middle. But that does not only apply to our relationship with God. It also applies with our relationship with one another. For example, there are problems occurring between farmers and landowners, and so you can always see us in the middle. There are problems regarding landowners and squatters. You can see us in the middle. There are problems between people and the government. You can see us in the middle. So we are a kind of a bridge, so that communication we will be able to facilitate better communication through that.
Relevant to our present situation, what message will you give to your parishioners to inspire them to become faithful Christians?
I guess, especially with regard to my office right now, you will have to know the mission of Christ first. Why did Christ come into this world in the first place? Because He wants to save us from sins. But that is not the only case. He came to this world so that He will be the voice of the poor. That is very clear in the gospel. He came so that the good news will be announced to the poor. And that is actually the message that we are always bringing. That for you to find favor with God, you have to love what He loved. You have to love what He loved. And He came because He loved the poor. That's very clear. We should have no arguments about that. The poor always takes a very special place in the heart of God. And so, if we want to follow Jesus, then we also have to love the poor. The poor should always have a special place in our hearts. And how can you say that he is poor? He belongs to this social class. Well, we have to go back to the Bible, who were considered as the poor in Jesus' time. The children, like you. That's why you hold a very special place in the heart of the church. We should take care of our children. We should take care of the sick. We should take care of the hungry, or those who are thirsty. Isn't it? That was the message of the Lord when He told His disciples, no? When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was thirsty, did you give me drink? When I was naked, when I was homeless, when I was in prison, when I was sick, did you care for me? And so if we want to find favor with God, we have to do this. Take care of the poor. Because He said that whatever you do to these least brothers of mine, you do to me. And so that should always be the message of the church, because it is the message of Jesus.
The next question is in Filipino.
Okay.
Ano Pagpapakahulugan mo sa salitang kapayapaan.
Kapayapaan. Actually, I have this book with me. It's called Catechism of the Catholic Church. No, so this is not my own invention. And I was able to locate, nakita ko dito, no, how the church, kung ano ang pag-define ng church about peace. I have to read this in English because the book is in English. Respect for development of human life require peace. So, kailangan ng kapayapaan so that true human life will be able to develop. Peace is not merely the absence of war. Okay? So, walang away, may peace na. But it doesn't follow. Hindi lang ganun. It's not simple as that. And it is not limited to maintaining a balance of power between adversaries. So, kung wala na tayong away, peace na ba? Parang hindi naman ganun. Peace cannot be attained on earth without safeguarding the goods of persons. So, you have to maintain, safeguard the goods of persons. Let me continue. Free communication among men. Pwede tayong magkausap. Free press, free speech. Respect for the dignity of persons and peoples. If you respect me, I respect you. There is peace among us. And the assiduous practice of fraternity. Peace is tranquility of order. Peace is the work of justice and the effect of charity. So, minsan may mga tao magsasabi, napaka-peaceful ng lugar na ito, ang tahimik. Pero ganun lang ba kadali, no, ang ating pag-define, pagkilala sa kapayapaan? Sabi dito, good of persons. Baka mapayapa sila kasi wala silang pagkain, wala silang pera, o takot sila. Di ba? Minsan tinatakot tayo, like ngayon, bawal kang magsalita against the government. Kasi pag nagsalita ka, patay ka. Pag hindi ka nagsasalita, peaceful ba yun? No, it's not. You are only quiet because you are afraid. And fear is not actually the work of peace. Kung ikaw ay gutom at wala kang sinasabi, nandyan ka lang sa tabi, hindi yan peace. You're just quiet. It's another thing. Di ba? May mga taong walang trabaho o nagtatrabaho, kulang yung sweldo, wala silang benefits, wala silang pamamasahe, wala silang ipakain sa mga anak nila. Pinapaalis sila sa bahay nila, pero tahimik sila. Peace ba yun? Kapayapaan ba yun? Hindi. Like ngayon, gustong kunin ng China yung ating lupa, tapos tahimik lang tayo para wala daw away. Peace ba yun? Hindi. That's not peace. That's just being afraid. So, I think nasagot ko yung tanong sa pamamagitan ng negation. Saying what peace is not. Okay? So, kung talagang gusto mong ma-achieve yung tunay na kapayapaan, dapat yung tao maganda yung buhay, may sweldo siyang rangal, he is in good health, he has security, di ba? Sa kanya yung bahay niya, shelter, na bigay yung kanyang mga basic needs. And he is not afraid. He has the freedom to speak. He has the freedom to go everywhere he wants. He has the freedom to express his own opinions. So that is how we recognize peace. Let me give you an example. During the time of Jesus, Rome was actually, sila ang nagdadala rin ng bandera. At yung bandera actually nila, nasasabi, ay Pax Romana, Peace of Rome. Okay, Pax Romana. Because sabi nila, as long na under kayo sa amin, we will provide peace. Basta walang aangal, walang magsasalita. Bibigay nyo sa amin yung pera nyo. Tapos, you will have peace. Wala tayong gulo. And that is the kind of peace that Christ does not believe in. So sabi niya, no, hindi pwedeng ganito. Kaya lang, dahil sa ganon, hindi, pinako siya sa krus. So Christ was actually fighting for peace. And peace, it is said here, that peace is a product of charity. It is the fruit of charity. Meaning, peace does not only come from heaven. Okay na kami dito. No, you have to work for peace. Peace can only be achieved through hard work. Charity. Once we are charitable to one another, sensitive to the needs of one another, then we will be able to achieve peace. Because peace is only a fruit. Bunga lang yan. Kung ang tao may magandang pagsasalamuhan sa isa't isa, then we will achieve peace. Yung tunay na peace. I guess is where also the church is always misunderstood. Bakit yung simbahan na sasali sa ganito, nananawagan ng labor, naghihingi ng tamang sweldo? Because that is how we achieve peace. Like for example, our teachers. They are working so hard, but they are not receiving the proper salaries. Is that peace? Of course not. Tapos sasabihan na sila, mga teacher kayo, wag na kayong lumabas, wag nyo do not fight for your right. Just stay in your classroom and be quiet. That's not peace. That's not peace. Artificial peace. Kasi you were not able to meet what they really need. Yung mga kailangan talaga nila. I hope that answers the question.
Ano-ano ang halimbawa ng kapayapaan magbigay ng sitwasyon?
That's why some would say, if you are rich, there will be peace. I don't believe in that. Maraming mga mayayaman na nag-away-away. Sila mismo nagpapatayan. There's no peace in that. Let me give you an example of peace. Isang nanay na hindi naman sila mayaman, but they have what they need. And that mother is able to send her children to school. They have good nutrition. They are not afraid in their communities. Their children are not threatened by drug addicts. Their children are free to go home, and they are not afraid of being kidnapped. They have sufficient food. They are in good health, and if they won't ever go sick. They have the access to medicine and hospitals. I think that is a very beautiful example of how, kung ano yung kapayapaan. No pollution. That's why we're also fighting for our environment.
Bilang isang pari, ano-ano ang mga ginagawa mo hakbang upang magkaroon ng kapayapaan? Paano natin ito?
Very complex. Like for example, right now, sa ngayon, yung ating water district gustong pasukin ng isang private company. And we believe, naniniwala tayo na water is a human right. Very basic human right. Diba? Ano yun? Isang requirement para ma-achieve yung peace that we will be able to give what rightfully belongs to our people. And water is a human right. That's why every basic commodity should be under the care, supervision of the government, because the government belongs to the people. It does not belong to the president. It does not belong to the Senate. It does not belong to our government officials. The government belongs to the people. And if water belongs to the people, then it should be run by the government. The problem is, may gustong kumuha nito. Gustong patakbuhin ng isang private company. Meaning, kung private company, silang mamamahala. At kung sila na ang mamamahala, ano kaya yung nasa likod ng motivation? Bakit gusto nilang hawakan? It is a basic commodity. It would no longer be for service, but for profit. Supposed to be, government should be there not for profit, but for service. Kaya hindi tayo pwedeng i-allow, no, na i-take over ito ng private company. Yes, we acknowledge na, like for example, Basiwa, are they giving us good service? No, they are not. But it should be the work of the government to give us good service. It is their obligation. That's why we are paying their salaries for them to deliver good services. And that's why we have the right to demand. We should demand for good water because we are paying your salaries. And you should not give up your obligation. So, dyan yung makikita na yung pari, hindi lang pala para dun sa pulpito. We have to safeguard the rights and welfare of our people. That is the mandate from God. Trabaho yun. Trabaho yun ng mga tao ng Diyos. No, na ibigay yung services sa mga tao. So that they will be able to achieve peace. Diba? Yung peace is a product of this hard work. We must work for peace. Kung walang tubig yung mga tao at nagbahalan yung presyo ng tubig, may peace ba? Pwede ba maganda bang pakiramdam pag hindi kayo nakaligo? Ano kaya mangyayari sa inyo kung walang tubig sa bahay? Wala kang papaligo, wala kang mainom, wala kang pang-ugas na pang-flush ng toilet. Diba? That's why we are fighting for that. And so, probably we are thinking that priest is only there for sacraments. But actually, the priest should always be there to safeguard the needs and the basic rights of our people. So, isa lang yun. Isa lang yun sa mga trabaho na pari. And right now, that is where I am. Aside from the sacraments, aside from our religious duties, we are also working hard to protect the interests of our people. Kasi pag hindi tumayo ang pari dyan, sino? Politicians. Tayo na lang inubututan ng mga politicians natin. Diba? Bakit na dito tayo ngayon? Grabe yung poverty. It's because of the corruption of our politicians. And the church has the mandate to protect the interest of the people. Diba? Sinisira na yung kalikasan natin, kinukuha na yung pera natin, tapos hayaan na lang sila, wala tayong magagawa dyan. Hindi pwede. Papagalitan tayo ng Panginoon pag ganun tayo.
Bakit mahalagang magkaroon ng kapayapaan hindi lang sa paaralan kundi sa buong mundo?
That is a very obvious question, not a very easy question to answer. Kailangan ng kapayapaan. Why? So that we'll be able to, di ba, sabi ni Jesus, Jesus said, I came here for you to have life. But not only life, but have life to the fullest. Meaning, hindi na tayo dapat kontento na buhay lang tayo. Humihinga, kumakain. But that's not the desire of God for us. God desires for us to have more. That we will have the fullness of life. Buhay na buhay talaga. No, nakakapag-aral tayo ng mabuti, no, na hindi tayo namumblema. Na kung magkakasakit tayo, may hospital tayo na libre, no, yung gamot within our reach, hindi tayo na problema, no, gano'n. we are at peace. Kumbaga. And so it is very important for us to start in school. But of course, we have to start in the home. Okay? And if there is peace in the home, we will be able to bring that in school. And if we are able to bring that in school, and we will be able to instill that, especially in the young minds of our young people and in their hearts, they will be the ones bringing that, especially when they grow old, because I believe that you will be our future leaders. Who knows? You could be the next mayor of Bacolod. You could be the next president of the Philippines. And if you have not experienced peace, especially in the home and in the school, then how will you be able to bring that along with you? You cannot give what you do not have. Di ba? Paano mo tuturuan ng mga tao ulit sa peace? Kung hindi ka naka-experience ng peace. Palagi kang pinapagalitan, palagi kang binubuli sa school. So baka paglaki mo, huli ka rin. Nananakit ka rin. Kung sa paaralan ikaw ay cheater, paglaki mo, baka maging cheater ka. If you are not studying well in school, baka sa paglaki mo, tamad ka rin. And if you are the leader of that city or even of that country, and if you have not experienced love, then probably you will also do that when you grow up. That's why it is important for us to implant that seed right now in our homes and in the school. Sa totoo lang, medyo huli na pag sa school eh. Kaya maraming teachers na really finds it hard to deal with their children right now, with their students, because hindi naman naka-experience ng magandang pag-uugali sa bahay. Mabubago ba ng teacher yan pag ganun na ang pag-uugali ng bata? Hindi, huli na. It always starts from our homes. Diba? And if you have experienced that love, if you have experienced that peace, then you will be able to bring that wherever you go, especially when you will be holding very important positions in life.
Nabibigay mo payo sa mga tao upang makamit at ng kapayapaan?
I guess we have to go back to what I said yung kanina. Ano ba yung reason na pumunta si Jesus dito sa mundo in the first place? He came here to love sinners and to love the poor.